with the swing. It's a little wide and a missed shot. That's all it takes. It's close, but it's no cigar.
Man. These games are so back and forth. The same.
I'm not sure he got it. I actually don't think he got it.
Takino got it right. Golden got it right. Calculated.
Yeah, never even worried.
Yeah. Always believing. Oh, that feels really bad. I feel like they really deserved that. Oh my god.
Yeah, me too. Like, they did everything so good, but it didn't work out for them.
I mean, the same happened on Vertigo, right? That A fake, and then they went B and they still lost the after plan. This game is really back and forth. It's a good game.
Oh, that is such a heartbreaking round to lose. Especially oh man. Well, I mean, we had some good stuff from MIBR there. I'm sure that they can keep that going. They've been taking more initiative. They've been kind of proactive with it, as opposed to being so reactive. I think if they keep that trend up, it's going to be good. I'm not sure exactly what next they would want to change, because you don't want to just do these apps setups and banana setups every single round. So
yeah.
Ooh, looks like we might get a faster round possibly for Cloud9. Going past the smoke. Ooh, almost. Two more smokes for MIBR. Would have been cool if Cloud9 had a player with a Mac 10 in a round like this, to get that information lurk somewhere.
Oh, all right, Alex. All right, guy. Using the AWP, putting it to good use, and that Molotov was great as well, just to force the fights from the half wall. Good read, right? Knowing that the money's low and MIBR might be attempting something cheeky at top banana. And so now, 2 players over towards B for MIBR. Cloud9 just still aren't moving, man. And I like that. They've already been rewarded for this patience. They know the pressure is more on MIBR's shoulders than it is on theirs. And so they're just seeing what MIBR offer up. They get that trade there. And now the round should be a lock-in, right? You're 4v2. You're not at all worried about it. It's the Eagles on the other side. One of these players is low. And they're actually, they don't care so much. They're so unworried that they're pushing both bomb sites at the same time. They're going to, I imagine, go back to A with the bomb, but it shouldn't matter either way. It should just be a lock-in. So there it is. 9 on the board for C9. And a good little patient round, right? Just waiting to see what the pistols are willing to give away and then playing off the back of it.
Key round here for MIBR, right? If they don't want to get completely dumpstered in this map, they need to do something now. Or going for a banana fight. Alex is here. CT smoke down, but there was no T Molotov. So Yell can't really get much of a vision. Still sitting here. The nades coming in. There's the peek off the flash. Can't get a kill. And you could see on his cam, he was looking away, to see if he got the frag, either another monitor or at the top of his screen. Fully blinded, no idea, but he didn't get anything. And this is now a very dangerous round. Cloud9 in banana. MIBR swapping the AWP out of B.
Yeah, Cloud9 has kept winning the utility fight on banana and is putting MIBR in a big disadvantage every round, seems like.
They could just flat out execute right now. There's very little to stop them, no utility.
Yeah, you have to have some 6 shots or small kills.
Oh, so tough. There is some retake utility and some kits and so on, so could be on. There's no close positioning except the site right now and banana, so that does give MIBR a chance to move in with a couple Molotovs that they have if they've got some good lineups for those. There is 5 players though. This is it's so hard. It's all their money. Yell has an AWP as well.
Yeah, they should save.
Yeah. It's a hard call though to make, I guess, for MIBR. They don't want to do it.
also get one at least.
Nope.
There's a molly for Paul, that'd be great. But too late for any of that.
Yeah, this is one of the problems of going for or not going for it. You sometimes get in like between going or not going for it, and that is the worst part you can be in. And that's exactly what happened down the round. You always want to avoid those. You want to make the call very clear. If I get one, we go for it. If I don't, just be ready to leave. They tried to yeah.
I guess they got the first and then immediately traded. So that never makes it easy.
And there were 2 guys in CT spawn as well.
Yeah, Yell was low from the banana nades earlier. He was just sat back waiting for re-peaks. Cloud9 not giving away anything though. 10 rounds, man. 10 rounds. MIBR are going to need to be the ones pulling a comeback in this map.
Mate, if I've learned anything from this series, it's that the first half is just for show. Okay, like that's the game really begins in the second half. That's where all the wildness starts to happen. This is a really nice lead though from Cloud9. I think they've been approaching the game well. You know, like they don't overstep the boundaries on like the anti-eco or like weak buy rounds from MIBR. So they've never really found anything. They've constantly just been breaking MIBR's money, and you've really kind of felt in some of these rounds where the utility runs out at B that there is just no hope, and you're looking at them setting up and you're thinking, well, if someone doesn't go huge and like get a multi-kill here, this is probably a Cloud9 round. They're just kind of playing it like nice and safe and by the numbers, and it's not giving us any of these like crazy explosive moments or anything like that, but it is winning them all these rounds, and that's the important part.
Yeah, and just being able to get like top mid so easily, and I don't think MIBR, I mean, y'all might be able to find a timing here. That would be really awesome to get a pick at this point. Also, more importantly than even a pick is kind of getting the info as to like what is Cloud9 actually using top mid for, because if they're just using it to just create some pressure, then they need to know that and know that the intention is B, for example, so they can get the rotate in. Right now, you got just waiting for a push, but Yell should have this, absolutely does. And again, his teammates are there, they have the stack, they see that there's no more players really there in that position, so they can get the rotate to B. So right now, MIBR might be ahead unless Cloud9 go instantly here. And it looks like they may just walk in. This is actually perfect for the timing. There's a trade as well. The smoke goes down, so they have control of the site now. It's down a man, but they've done a really good job here.
All the boost up. Lots of damage done though, floppy low. Retake is on. Orbs posted. Alex just misses that timing, but if anything, it keeps him alive for longer. A repeat could cost him. We got this flanking spawn as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's playing the discipline. Messi. They line up. Double down. And that might just be the round in the palm of Cloud9's hand. Final kill to find Messi. Doesn't matter who gets
played by Messi. Yeah, well played. Well played, Cloud9.
The funny thing is that, wasn't this the scorelines on the first map, but the other way around?
It was 13-2 for MIBR, first map. Second map was 11-4 for MIBR.
Okay. So the MIBR comeback then, just for the poetic justice. That's what I'm going for.
I don't know, mate. They couldn't close a 13-2, so I don't know if they can close a 3-11. We'll have to see. Bad to worse. Oh my, it's just B hit after B hit. I feel like Cloud9 haven't got A in 6 rounds.
Aggression. Oh, well, that's nice and clean. That's nice and easy. Cloud9, 12-3. And now we see, can MIBR complete the same feat we saw from Cloud9 on that first map, or is this a Cloud9 2-1? Join us after the break to find out. traded.
Look.
Oh.
Look, Golden, frankly, if we're inviting you to the casting desk, you have to invite us to the server, okay?
Ooh,
so Harry wants to debut. He wants an HLTV profile.
Man.
So
I think
sub him in.
I think there's already a Harry that plays for Swedish teams that's actually doing all right, but
it sounds fair.
Right, so look at this. We're 12-9. Cloud9 are in the lead, and nothing could possibly go wrong to change that. We're really trying to throw as many curses onto this as we got. You know, we got Curse King Golden in the house as well here, repping this comeback, or I guess repping the Cloud9 victory for it to work. Let's see what pans out, because it's floppy getting that opener, and they're trying to bait him into Mezzy. Mezzy does kind of jump the gun on the peak. They might have heard that. They should know that. I mean, it was at the same time the flash popped, right? So I'm not certain yet. I like this bait and switch. I'm curious to see how much it gets away with.
Oh, drive-by.
Is that allowed? is that okay? I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Now they
running
molly
and spamming a USC. What is this, Valorant? What's going on?
I feel like you can't run in that game, man. Everyone's like glued to the floor.
I don't know, man. Running and shooting was a very, very big issue that people were having, right?
Still good.
It was pretty nutty. I've seen some of the clips from it. But, you know, I try to avoid Valorant clips wherever I can. No offense, Dan.
Sorry.
Look at this. S-Tag watching for the walk across. Cloud9 onto 13. Didn't mean to just start some, like, warfare between games. Now it's just an eco for MIB. This actually should be the GG for once. Like, this should be a clean victory if the Counter-Strike gods are permitting, right? But they work in weird ways, do the CS gods. We never know how this is going to end up. We got a little force buy coming in for MIBR. What's a good force call if you got this many smokes? Were you thinking like a fake to get thrown in and hoping that they over-rotate or something? I don't really know. Oh, what was that?
I mean, screw the nades. Nah, it'd be good to like smoke off top banana, just not let him having them the control, or to see if someone is in banana.
A lot of info off the mid-peak though. Mezzy caught moving away. Shuz chases him, and back to the site. It's only Alex here. Famas.
Oh wow.
Eagle, far better.
Okay.
Alright, I believe in the MIBR.
Come back, yeah.
Yeah, just saying it now.
The curse was just a bit of a laggy curse, guys. It's all good.
Surviving
bit laggy.
before.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, this is actually the best possible way for this to really work, because from an economy standpoint, MIBR will get a lot more momentum than if they just want the pistol straight up. So, if assuming they win this round, they've got everything they need.
Yeah, I was just gonna say what they need is for C9 to force up and lose this round, and then they can get the momentum going.
I know, man. These rounds where I see pistols, Flaren, whenever he's on here, he's always pretty outspoken about how these rounds end up feeling really quite stressful, because all it takes is one little mistake to happen, and you feel it. You can feel it slipping through your grasp. Oh, luckily enough, everything's pretty nice in the beginning. Nothing weird's happened yet. They've got the bomb into the site. They've got a man advantage. And from here on in, I'm just going to say it, nothing can possibly go wrong here for MIBR. I'm really trying to bait everything, every round. I'm seeing how real we can make it. But it actually is just a save. Cloud9 are just going to give this a go with these 4 sport weapons again in the next round. I like this, because I think, especially if you keep 4 alive, it's basically like having that 4 spy on repeat. It's just like a nice by the numbers kind of Counter-Strike, and that's what Cloud9 have been playing, right? I think they've played a very safe game where it is just, if we're in like a 3-on-4, yeah, we might give it a look in, but we're never that invested in these kind of situations. That was the case back on Vertigo as well, where it was these very much just erring on the side of like the numbers game.
Yeah, so to a point you mentioned, like these force buys are sometimes the most scary part of a match. I feel like that breaks the momentum, or that breaks like the entire half, or of making a comeback or anything like that. You need one guy just shoots through a smoke, gets 2 kills, and you can just play it safe and you win the round.
And
which is very scary for an IGL to call, or like to walk around.
I feel like at times as well, it's we say it sometimes, it's like better to win the second round than it is to win the pistol, especially on like the T side, because you know the loss bonus you're going to get for losing pistol is you know, more than it is if you lose the second. Like you'll get 1400 and then you're left with nothing. You can't even buy a helmet dig, you know. So that can definitely be a problem.
Yeah, I mean nowadays as well, it feels like if you win the first round as if you win the pistol as CT, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy an MP9 here, and then you get insta peeked by an AK-47 full cav. You're like, what is going on? Where's one pistol?
At least it's not the Krieg anymore, you know, like darted in for a quick jiggle or something. That was kind of hellish. But no, yeah, it is very weird. We always say it's like a game of who won the pistol round, you know, like you can never quite tell in those situations. It is, it's one of the weirder things, I think, because it does feel like right now a lot of maps kind of lean to being T-sided, I think, but just because of the money, not because of how the maps are designed.
And honestly, I feel like such a good change, I don't know why Valve haven't done, is, let me know if you agree with this, like, letting CTs buy the A1S and the A4 in the same game, because then you have the 2900 A1S for when you have less money, like maybe you win the pistol and you want to buy it with helmet and no nades. You have like 2 M4s, 3 SMGs, but you can't really do that because the A4 is so expensive and most people use the A4 over the A1S. So I don't know, I'd like you to be able to buy both guns on the CT side. I don't see a downside.
Yeah, I mean there was some teams in the beginning of the year, or even last year, I think I saw Tabson from Big do this, and he equipped the silencer, but he only bought the silencer like the first couple of rounds of the game, and then he just played the AUG the rest of the game.
Smart.
So I mean, you like you said, sometimes it's definitely nice to have like a silencer against the second round buy.
Yeah, given the money discrepancy on the purchases, I like that change sounds great. It's just that I can't really see a downside to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially like, it's just like it's kind of mental how you have the least opportunities to make money. You're the most vulnerable to getting reset. You know, you just physically have to spend more. Like your rifle costs more money, even though it's worse than the AK. You know, you buy diffuse kits, that's an extra 400. Your incendiaries cost more, you know, and you kind of need all this stuff more on the CT side anyway. So it does feel like, you know, these kind of games, you know, I swear when they looked at it statistically, I don't think it's actually backed up by statistics, but you know, what do I know? It feels like a lot of games are longer now, or at least more drawn out, because it's like, you know, a team might just have this ridiculous T-side comeback where the CTs, you feel like you only really get to see them have like maybe 7 proper full buys, and you know, if they're not winning those rounds, if they're not winning them cleanly as well and like building up money, then you're always in like a bit of a weird spot. Like even now, right, where Cloud9 have gone in with this buy, it's not great. You know, like you've only got 1 kit, you don't have an AWP, you've got 2 FAMASes. That's what they've been able to muster here. If they lose this, they're on pistols next. So suddenly that's like MIBR building back into this game in like a very real way. And you don't have as many chances as it looks like to actually put a stop to that if you're Cloud9.
And they're gambling pretty heavily right now because of the lack of firepower and utility. And just playing super passive, not going for any info, just stacking B regardless of what happens. So, oh, that's a huge kill to get. That's a really huge kill. Now they go to the wrap into the side. Okay, well, there you go.
That's a nice shot.
Insane shot. And he does his first shot, phenomenal from him, and he's actually making a really good situation of what otherwise is just an awful, terrible situation. Mezzi, he's done so much. Yell, I mean, he's going to need some real Kenny S moment here to clutch this one. I don't think he's got time to get. Oh no time to get out of there.
Messi is actually really good in those situations when he's alone towards the site. I've actually played in a team with him before, and I remember I was always impressed with how he could be like alone at a site and always getting like 2 or 3 like quick multi-frags.
Yeah. He seems
Good to
very
see.
comfortable.
Yeah.
He loves those like very short bursts. It reminds me of 1.6 where that was much more predominant too.
Yeah, he's very, very accurate with his shots. He's not stressing with his phrase a lot of time.
Kind of reminds me how Rain would also like use a rifle. I think like he was the first player in CSGO when he was really at the top where he kind of just had all these short bursts and a lot of movement around the bursting.
Yeah.
Yell's on fire right now. Taking S-tag out. Cello tapping the AWP. And, well, that's the round done.
Another gun round.
Yeah. The bottom's still T-spawn.
All that happened, those frags, because someone threw a smoke. They Molotov down mid, and Yell could peek, and also Cello could go up. I think it was Bolt smoking out the molly in mid, and they, peeked because of it. Otherwise, the CTs thought it was going to be Molotov. Really good counter to that.
They might need to find both the weapons. They know where Zephyr is now, and look, they've already dispatched people to go and hunt him down. He's not able to get away with it, and that's pretty big. You know, you take down these saving players, you'd even held on to that one gun. I was going to say, you know, if you held on to 2, maybe you could have looked to invest here, but yeah, no, with just the 1 save, mate, you're done. You're ecoing anyway. So this is what we're talking about with this, like, 2-for-1 almost. You know, you win that round, you break the money. Well, now you've got a great shot at an 8th. This is how you build back into the game. You know, we want to see Cloud9 try and get themselves out of this this rough spot before it becomes, you know, the kind of enemy knocking on the gate, right? An MIBR up to like 12 rounds, and then suddenly, you know, you're down to your final few buys where you're in the lead, because that's where the pressure's really on.
Also, you kind of lose when you come into this situation as a CT. You also lose a lot of confidence because, like you said, you almost get like a 2-for-1 round. So after you done like an entire eco, you're like, okay, now it's time to get back in the game. But then you're not really wanting to take too many risks because you just lost 2 rounds in a row, and you don't want to force your team to another eco. Yeah.
So, you know, like even that side of it, right? Like it. Would you say that you definitely feel like you have to play safer, even if, you know, even if that isn't maybe the right call to make? You just kind of get in that headspace of, you know, no one wants to be the first guy to die, so you try and structure it so that you can just, you know, play more reactively. You're taking maybe safer fights. You're not doing the stuff that might have been working to get you there in the first place, which you know, maybe was some of this pushing and prodding, because you're worried, as you say, about, like, you know, putting your team on eco again, being that, like, first domino to fall that then leads to another loss in one of the important rifle rounds.
Yeah, I think it's unconsciously. I think that's also the times where you need to take like a pause, and you need to practice a mindset of thinking that it's 0-0. You know, you're not ahead or you're not under. You should always play every round as if it's 0-0, you know.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good way of looking at it. Because I think as well with some teams you see like they might hit like 14, 15 rounds and like it feels like the mentality shifts away from you know, maybe how it is in the beginning, like when the scoreline's 0-0, like you say, and suddenly it's like, you know, we need that 1 round. So like they're playing to get 1 round, but it's like that feels like it can be a very dangerous way to approach a game, you know, like suddenly it's not about winning as many as you can, you know, because you are literally 1 round away. But you know, I mean, I can't think of how many games I've seen where a team has been on 15 for, you know, maybe they've had like 6 chances to get it over the line.
Yeah.
But you never have that pause or that mental reset because you're trying to ride off the momentum, you know, and like the good feeling of we're here, like, you know, it's easy, 5 kills, we're done.
Yeah, I mean, every round you need to be unbiased from the conditions, and just purely think every situation, what's the highest percentage played to win this round, or
what's the most logical thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I gotta be honest. I love having you two here just to give us this little look in, right, as to like what might be going through people's heads and stuff like that. Because I always think no one knows it better than the people who are doing it currently. Like even when you have like these legends step down and do like desk work stuff, and you know, I just think it's so much more raw when, you know, tomorrow you guys might be in similar positions, or like, you know, earlier on this week, right? So no, I really appreciate y'all being here. And look at this, we got this little 4-on-4 where everything now is kind of interesting, because Cloud9, they know like this is one of the better spots they've been in as of late. The only thing that worries me is the potential of this B play coming through, and the fact that you've only got Floppy here, but he does at least have that smoke and Molotov to buy a bit more time.
Yeah, I think MIBR should have, like, they would have pushed. Because we can see now that there's no open B, but they think there's an open B. He just got an entry, or he refragged, which just makes them think even more.
Oh
no!
Molly in the smoke. MIBR, they've thrown in their own util as well. Gonna pop into spawn. Oh, Estag's here, switching nades. Oh, he gets headshot by Cello. Very quick. Floppy's at the back of the site, just trying to buy time. Zeppa can't stop the wrap on Coffins, but they know Floppy has to be somewhere here. Newbox has been mollied. That only leaves one place. Oh, he's been chased. And Zeppa pushing the smoke as well. 10 seconds. Can he deny one? He might be able to kill them all. He's dropped one. Mezzi on a flank. Big nade from the roof. Does some damage. And killing Yell off the plant as well with the AWP. It's into the 1v1. Cello. Oh, it's a Mezzi. But Mezzi will win it. And that is playoff point. Cloud9.
Really important clutch.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's, how's it even 15-8? What was it, 12-3, and they lost the pistol?
Yeah.
It's been a good comeback so far from MIBR, but once again, they don't really have the runs they play with from the first half, so...
Yeah, it's looking tough. That's, I really like the point you guys were talking about as well, about the sort of like the mentality aspect. Is because one thing I say to people as well is that you kind of have to reprogram yourself in terms of, because most people get a reward from an outcome of like, oh, we won the round, or, but the thing is that then you also get an outcome of you lose or if something goes wrong, and then you feel badly about it. So you kind of want to reprogram yourself to feel good about and be excited about just making the best play right now, and just understanding that you can't control everything. But that's all you can control, and living within that.
Yeah. For example, if a team screams at you at LAN, the other team screams at you every time they win a round, and when they lose, they just like shut themselves down instead of, you know, the other team is shouting back. I feel like that's you go in a very bad spiral of bad habits, and you play more emotionally than logically.
Yeah, man, it's weird as well, because I think like with those teams that are really emotional, it feels like the highs are really high, but then like the lows are really low, and it's not as consistent, right? Because you are like more led by how things are going, and when the going's good, you know, it must feel great, but then all it takes is those few stumbles, and it's a lot harder to build back in because of those like kind of bad habits that you talk about, right? Where you can't help your emotions coming into play if that's something you've always allowed for.
This is gonna be a very hectic round. I just feel like it. The time is ticking.
Mezzi.
Spray.
He's playing really well.
Yeah, he only has 8 deaths. This guy's just been closing rounds right now. He might close the series.
Yeah.
Oh, headshot. Smoke push for the game. Floppy damage, nothing more. The nade could do it. The nade could do it. 10 seconds. Estag's run. He's done it. Just needs to stay alive, and he's won the entire series. What a play. Oh, no, don't think it's time. That's it. Cloud9, 16-8. Wow, Estag with the nade, closing it out. What a game.
Sick round by Messi again.
Yeah, Messi saved that round.
He's looking really impressive. Yeah, man, I'm amazed that Cloud9 have the ability to see that through right to the very, very end. Like, this entire series, as we've said, has been very, very weird in terms of the back and forth nature. And by that third map, they were looking like more composed than ever. And for MIBR, you know, they started to find their way back in. I think it was just a little too far gone, right? I think that's probably a sentiment you guys would share as well. It's just like one round too far, essentially, for for the side of MIBR.
Yeah, they had a tough road. They made the best out of it. They could. I feel like that was a very challenging mentally. That entire best of 3.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling now about having to play Cloud9 in the playoffs? That'll be your first game in the quarters.
I feel pretty confident, I would say. Let's just hope for a good best of 3.
Yeah, just don't let your foot off the gas when you've had a 13-2 half.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like now more than ever that lesson has to drive home, right? So we won't have to worry about that. We're going to throw this over to a quick break, but also shout out Golden, Jaquinho, and Samuelson for joining us for this whole thing. You guys did great. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for
We're going to throw this over to a quick
you.
break, and then we'll be back. Take care.
That was one spicy series, but Cloud9 will take it in 3, the distance. And to join us to talk about that matchup is Mezzy from Cloud9. It's great to have you on, man. I want to jump right in and make you cast your mind back to Overpass. Talk to us about that comeback, because did you believe that was going to happen at the start, or is that just materializing round after round and suddenly you're like, oh shit, we've won this game?
I think you have to take it round by round, to be honest. We kind of all stayed positive throughout the, even though we was down 13-2, whatever it was. But we kind of knew we'd bring it back. Our CT side's really strong, has been throughout practice. So we just took it round by round, and as they build up, we just everyone builds up that hope, and everyone knows we can win this match now. So it was a great comeback to be part of, to be honest.
Yeah, an awesome series as well. I also wanted to ask about your British brethren in Alex. We see you playing a lot of spots with him, especially on CT Overpass as well. How is it playing with Alex, right? It's not that common. I mean, in your career as well, you've played in predominantly European teams, looking at Gamer Legion, right? So playing in a mixed nationality team, but with another Brit, is that a nice feeling?
Yeah, definitely. The chemistry is really good between us. We play a lot of outside of practice, Faze and so on. So great chemistry with playing sites, and especially now with him on the AWP, he's doing a great job. Even though he's only been a few best of threes and a handful of practices. Like, it's been great playing with him, like with his new role, and especially on A overpass as well. Like, the chemistry's there, and we always know like who's doing what and where we need to be at the right times, and like we can communicate really well throughout the game as well.
Yeah, it's looking yeah, really well put together in a lot of spots. It looks like there's a very clear philosophy as well. We're seeing like in terms of how you guys are playing that you're really using pacing a lot, like really trying to catch teams off guard, playing super slow and then playing really fast. And sometimes that really slow style, it seems like you guys have gotten caught out with it, but it clearly is creating a lot of impact. We talked to Art actually after your game against FURIA yesterday, and he was saying that it really did feel like you guys could do anything at any point. It was quite stressful for them. So are you guys still like, are you nailing kind of how you want to play as a team, or are you still kind of in the experimental phase? How does it all feel in terms of like creating the identity with this team?
I think we all know how we want to play, and obviously like those rounds yesterday against Fury and stuff, and playing really slow, it's like something that we can definitely do, but like we've still got some like work to do on those, because even in those rounds that they didn't really know what we was doing and was playing super slow, it was like we didn't really win them. So there's still some work to be done on like playing that style, and I know we can play like the fast style as well, but we mix it up pretty well, and I think we still need to work on it definitely, because it can get quite hectic against a team like Fury as well. Like late rounds, like you never know what's going to happen, and they're pushing loads of different places. So I think it can always be difficult against teams like that playing slow. But it's something that we're definitely working towards, like nailing it definitely.
Something I'm curious about, Mezzy, is obviously, and this is like a bit of an old hat question, because obviously this team's been a thing for a while now. But as a British boy, how did it feel when Cloud9 was being made, when you get that call up from Henry and Co? You get invited into the team. Like what was your reaction and everything to all this happening? And kind of alongside that, how much effort would you say now that you've been putting in since joining the team, compared to historically when you've been like grinding and all that? How does it compare, and like how's the preparation different?
I think firstly it was quite like surreal, to be honest. Like I didn't really believe it like when it first happened, and like the talks were going on. It was like, because going from like, for me, it was quite a big step up going to like an MDL team, like in Game Legion. So I was quite happy with that and just working through there. So it was a big surprise when like that offer came through and the talk started happening, because you never really think it's going to happen to you, right? So so that was quite a big surprise. And in terms of like effort and preparation, like I put quite a lot of effort in before. Obviously, I think only this year like actually went full time into CS, because I was just finished university this year. So like the start of last year. So like in terms of preparation stuff, it's like I've been able to put like all my time and all my effort towards like CS, and like the preparations going into games, like basically every single day is just like grinding the game and preparing for these games that are going on. Like it's a lot of work, but hopefully it's going to pay off.
And just to finish off, your next matchup is now going to be versus fnatic in the playoffs in those quarters. Congrats on getting to the playoffs as well here. What are your expectations for that game? How are you feeling?
I think we feel pretty good. We've had quite a few practices against them. It's gone either way against them. It's been some close games in practice, but I think we definitely feel confident, and we're going to prepare well for the game.
Awesome. Well, we've got to get you out here. We've got more Counter-Strike to cast, but thanks for joining us, Mezzy, and best of luck in the playoffs.
Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, what a game. Cloud9 are getting more and more exciting every single series we watch from them.
No, 100%. And, I think the addition of Zephyr is actually a great pickup as well, right? It still saddens me to no end, like, till this day, that Chaos ended up falling apart the way that it did. But out of all of it, if the one, like, at least bright spark is that, these guys get other starts in other games or other teams, I'm very, very happy that we've at least held on to the treasure that is Zephyr. I really, really can't wait to see how he continues with this Cloud9 squad, because, the results are already there, and it is still pretty early days. So that's very much exciting. Also love getting to speak to guys like Mezzy and Alex, right, being that British bloodline, you know, trying to pioneer us through. And then you got like Endpoint making their kind of step up as well. There's exciting times, you know, on the horizon for UKCS. But I could talk about that all day, and I don't know if anyone wants to hear that. Not when we have more games still to come up here. Right, so we got Varnov weighing in. Obviously, he's going to be here with for Flower and bringing you guys his final game. Dan, you're sticking around as well. That's all for Hugo and I, but more Counter-Strike when we get back after the break.